Yes, hello. What I'm gonna do here now is a little recap of the material I carried for the Navad 1000. Before I started this race, I was wondering what is the right equipment, and actually I did quite a long list of things. And when I surfed in the internet and tried to find some tips, I normally just found people that are preparing for the race and said what they're gonna take with them. What I do now is I unpack my bike and I just tell you what was useful, what I did use, and what was actually too much. For sure, it always depends on the weather. We had nearly no rain, and that was so I had things I wouldn't take again. But let's just go through. It's gonna be a quite long video, so only watch it if you really are preparing for an event like this. And in the end, it's not gonna be. It's only interesting for people into these kind of things. All right, let's start with the shoes. I have shoes with quite hard soles. As Navad 1000 has quite a lot of walking bits on rocks, this was not the perfect shoe. It was okay for riding, but not for walking. So next time I would take a shoe with softer soles, so it's better to walk on hard rocks. It was a lot of times it was nearly climbing, and it was also dangerous because with hard shoes you can just slip, and that's very dangerous. Okay, where should we start? I mean, I have here on the back, I packed like this. I mean, the bike is still really as it was when I arrived in Montreux 2 days ago. So what I have in here is some very small shoes. It's more like it's more what should I say? It's a little light shoe, very light, and it's always good if you arrive at the end, or even in an evening and you go for a walk. You just can't wear these shoes anymore. After 14 hours on the bike, you are going barefoot, and this is nearly the feeling you have barefoot, but very small, packable. I would take again with me, especially small and light. Okay, what else do we have? I had a backpack a little bit too big, but nevertheless it was okay. In here I don't unpack, it's a power pack, so energy consumption of the cell phone to take movies like this, but also, and that's a crucial thing, is the navigation. That's a real problem. I had, we see later on, charging cables, for sure, things you need. That's a must. When you rest in a restaurant or somewhere else, you can plug and charge your devices. What I have in here are the repair kits for the tires. I don't know if you have seen my movie about repairing the tire. I had 2 punctures on the side, and if you look here, you see them still in there. I put this. They are called samurai strips. You pull into the tire, and I can, if you have seen it, I repaired it on, I think it was evening of day 3, and it was losing a little bit air. Sometimes I have to pump, but I arrived with the tire, so it was not a major problem. But here, some additional repair kits from this samurai thing. Then I have sun cream, absolutely necessary. I bought the 51 on the way, necessary if you drive all day long in the sun. Put a ride on the morning when you get up, even if it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, put on good sun cream. So this is going to protect you for the day, and probably have to re-put on it. What I have, power bars. I mean, I just ate tons of them. But yeah, you also should eat normal food. I had perfect nice food up on the mountains. There are nice restaurants, little huts, Alp restaurants and things like this. A sun hat, I didn't wear too much, but I think you should take with you on yes, on a trip like this. Then here a little box. I always prepared my breakfast in here. I mean, I had a muesli. So in the evening I put the muesli in there, some water, so it could get soft and nice in the morning. First thing you wake up, you eat a little muesli, gives you a good start into the day. And I had pre-packed the food, the muesli like this, for 6 days, so this was really good. Spare batteries for the spot tracker, we're gonna see later on. If you run out of the tracker, you're out of the race. The pump already prepared just to put on with the so I could refill the tire at any time. I used it several times, it was very good. I pre-printed maps and put it into a nice Ortlieb waterproof bag. Actually, it was good to look at the profile of the race once in a while when you stop, just to be prepared for the next section. So I would again print every section and see the profile, maybe even laminate and put it somewhere on your handlebar, so you can always see where you are. I have a Camelback 2 liter here, absolutely recommendable. It's important to drink a little but very often, so I refill this bag at any not any occasion, but anytime I was not sure there will be water again for some time. So I had a shirt, yeah, just to wear. I slept in this shirt. By the way, the one I have here I bought only in Montreux. When I arrived, I was really exhausted and I had to regain energy. So funny, but I needed to buy a shirt with colorful, with an energetic color. So this also mentally gave me back some energy. These are the hydration power tabs. You could just put it in the water, so it's not powder, they are tabs. You put one in. They recommend 2, but after a while you can't drink this stuff anymore. So pure water or only 1 tab, so you have a light thing in there. So what else do we have in the backpack? Another sun cream here, toilet paper. Don't forget, there are not toilets around, so you always should carry some toilet paper. It's quite obvious, but can be nasty if you forget it. Yeah, that's about what I had in this backpack here. Additionally, I had this bidon. I mean, carry a lot of water with you, especially if it's hot like the last days. Then, let's say, from the packings, I had the saddlebag in the back of the saddle, and it just, I can't hardly open the bag right now. My right hand is still feeling dizzy. I don't have the feeling in the small 2 toes here, and I can hardly hold. So that's one of the downsides of a race like this. If you go over the limit, my 2 big toes, they still don't really feel alive. They are kind of limp. I don't know how to call it in English, and same thing with this hand. So holding the handlebar for 6 days is something not really done for our body, but now I could open it. So the nice thing about this excellent backpack here, saddlebag, you just fill it up as much as you want and roll roll it so it's waterproof. You have a little air valve here, so you can push out the air while packing and then close it and it stays dry. I didn't have a lot of only a few drops rain, but it's really waterproof. Okay, so I had an additional pair of pants, so I ride it with 2 pants, always one I could wash and put here on the back, and it was drying over the day. So next morning I had a nice new pant to put on. I had what we call a gilet, so that's only a small armless gilet you can put on downhills or in the evening when it gets cold. I would say all of the mentioned things right now were mandatory, you have to take. arm warmers. You just pull them over the arms. They keep you warm in the evening or early in the morning when you depart. That's a must. What else do we have? I had here like thermo underwear. These pants I wear for sleeping. So I could not sleep in the things I wear for 18 hours during riding. So I really took everything off, and nice dry underwear, long. It's also much more comfortable in the sleeping bag to have these things in there. I have knee warmers, same as the arm warmers. You just put them on and you can easily take them off. So that's a must as well. I never had extremely cold, but in the mornings and in the evenings I put them on. What else is in here? This I had like zippable pants, and these are just the zip-on parts of the pants. So even if you are in the evening not riding the bike, you can go into a restaurant and wear normal pants. That's for me not a must, but it was okay. It's very light pants, so that's fine. I have compression socks. I always wear them during night, and that turned out to be quite good. My legs always felt good in the morning. I mean, for sure they hurt after a while, but I mean, that's just normal. So what else do we have here? I have a bag with some tools. Not too many to be honest. As my bike, I call it the one service per annum bike. So I do not repair a lot of things in there on it. I only have here, let's say, a key with all kinds of sizes to tighten loose screws, something like this. So a multi-tool. That's actually the only one I carried along, with imbus key if I would have to take off the wheel. That's the only one I need there. As I have a carbon belt, I don't need grease, just wash and ride. That's the concept of the bike anyway. I still had some lifters for the back tire or front tire to take off in case the tubeless tires would break. Fortunately, I could always fix with the Samurai thing I mentioned before, so that's a good thing. Spare tube, I had only one. For sure, if you're unlucky, this is not enough, but you have to decide what risk you want to take. I have here a bag with a lot of, let's say, medical things in there. I can just shortly go through. Here are warm pads I put on the back. I only put one. I had it on for about 2 days, but normally they warm your back or any other place. Maybe the shoulder starts to hurt. You can put it on and it warms like 24 hours. That's very good. So then I have emergency blanket. Always that's a must. I didn't use it, but it can be very helpful if you get stuck somewhere uncomfortable. It keeps you warm. I had eye drops. With the dust and all the things in your eyes, this helps. And especially when I arrived, I hardly could see anymore. So put some. It's more or less salt water. That helps to recover. Glasses, I lost my old glasses when I took water somewhere, and I bought new glasses on the way. And even if the sun is not too strong, protect your eyes against dust and also the sunlight. That's very important. So that's another absolute must. I have in here just some sticks to medical basic equipment, plus antihistamine. I'm allergic on insects, so if you have any allergic problem, you should take the right medicine with you. Up there in the mountain you probably would not find anyone. I have here That are the two remaining pills. They help to recover in the evening. It's antioxidant or something like this. It just cleans you, the body, and prepares you for the next day. I had some hot cream similar to the pads I can put on the back. You can put anywhere. This cream starts heating the muscles and ankles or whatever that hurt, and that's a must as well. I put on my back. That's my main problem. I had in here packed in bags, so it's very small. Cream for my pants, and an aftercare skin repair cream for to put on your on your back, or no, not back, on your ass when it gets hurt, when it hurts too much. So body care is very important. In the evening, always do a little massage for your legs, or that's what I did at least. Recovery cream. In here some more power gels, less leftovers. In here I have they are magnesium sticks, so you just put them in. You need some magnesium so your muscles do not get cramps, and I used like 2 of them on a daily basis. Some more power tabs. So we reached now, while unpacking, we reached the frame bag here. There are some leftovers in the seat bag, I forgot, but we go back there again. What I have in here, it was normally on the handlebar, is the navigation device. It's a Garmin Oregon 700. Originally I was not happy with this device. I only bought it because it's the only device you can change batteries. I used a lot of the batteries. I at least changed batteries twice a day, so it uses quite a lot of energy, but that's without navigation you're gone. I mean, you can stop the race. It's so difficult to navigate. And originally I was not too happy with this device because even pushing the buttons, the navigation inside is not so convenient and user-friendly as I used to have on other navigation devices. Nevertheless, I started loving it because it works quite precisely, and after a while you get used to it. The only thing I still really don't like is the buttons. They are so hard to push, and you have to push twice to get into the menu. And after 14 hours on the bike, lost in the middle of a forest, tired, really exhausted, you can hardly push 2 times that hard as it needs to get into the menu, to select the new section or to search something in the device. So it's good, it's stable, it's unbreakable nearly, but not too handy. So there is some room for improvement, but it led me to the right destination. I arrived in Montreux, and that's the most important thing. But that so far for the navigation device. So that's the oil for the massage in the morning, to prepare your legs and really give them, a good sign and say hello. I'm back again, get started. I had a headlamp. It's actually a quite strong one and gives you good light also for night driving. I was extremely happy to have it, and it's very 300 lumen or so. That's enough to get down the mountain even in the middle of the night. And again, you can change the batteries. That's the repair cream for yes again, and another one, that's a battery pack I did use. So that's about it. What from in here? What else? I carried along this. It's like a span set or something like this. So whenever something would brake or to attach or to pull the bike or strap it on your back for long walking distance or something. That could be a help. I didn't use it, it's not a must, but I felt good to have it in my bag. So I have some more stuff in the back here. So that's the rain equipment, very light rain jacket. Oh, my bike still wants to go. So a very light rain jacket. For sure, if you get into the heavy rain, this would be too small, but at least you have it. Luckily, I never used it. Rain pants, I have only the 3/4 rain pants. Here again, a light version, so at least you are protected. Up in the mountains, it can turn icy cold within hours. So you need this. These are things you must have. It's really dangerous. I even had a cover for my helmet. So I could leave it home, but you never know in advance, and I will still say it's a must. You have to carry this, and maybe even a bit heavier version of it, but that's the compromise you have to take. What else do we have in here? So cables to charge navigation device. I have, yeah, that's again the charger for the cable, and I have a good friend, or let's say Ursula and Lucas, they borrowed me the exactly same device I had for the navigation, so I was on the safe side having a spare device there. Glove finger covers here for the heavy rain, small gloves for into the warm gloves, and again batteries, stuff in here. Heart rate I didn't put on anymore after a while. I knew my heartbeat is so slow anyway. So to sum up, I mean, helmet is obviously something you have to have, no discussion there. Then I have a, let's say, the sleeping mat. I mean, very light, 350 grams, inflatable, very good, a must. I mean, you don't sleep very much, but at least when you sleep well. Then the front, in the front we have this excellent handlebar bag from Ortlieb again. Extremely good because you can pack from both sides. You just push the things inside. And I have in here my sleeping gear. So starts with the sleeping bag. Just pull it out. A light sleeping bag, 450 grams. Packs very small. I have my second pants I mentioned before. I have a thermo shirt, a small one, compression socks for driving, extremely good. I have a warm jacket. I used it in the evening when I arrived. I took everything off, and sometimes I even slept in there during night. That's a normal tricot, for sure a must. Here a little additional thing, the pillow, inflatable, very comfortable, for me a must. And the BV bag I used, just pull it out here. So that's the BV bag. You can sleep in this one even if it's raining. It keeps you dry, and it's fairly light as well. So we come to the near end. That's a towel. Not a big one, very small, but good enough. That's all you need to get dry. And so it's empty. So that's the handlebar bag. And what you see here is the spot tracker. That's actually the device that tracks you along the trail. So the race center, the control center, but also your friends can follow the entire race. I had a light on the handlebar. But this is chargeable. I still have energy in there, but it's much better to have a battery driven light, so you can change batteries and go on. This one you have to stop and wait for hours till it's charged. From the bike I can say actually it worked extremely well. I would say the Lauf fork I have on here, the absolutely maintenance free Lauf fork, is one of the best things on this bike anyway. For long distance things like here, I mean, you don't have to adjust air pressure or anything else. It just it's nearly unbreakable, and you don't have to worry about it. It may be not as comfortable as other forks, but you know, it takes the hard shocks and it makes you don't have to worry about it. It works. I was extremely happy and absolutely convinced about the Pinion C 112. The 12 gearbox is just probably the best gearbox on the planet, especially for things like this. I mean, you come around a corner and you have to change gear because it's going uphill. You just stand still and shift down, and the range is very good, so extremely nice. The carbon belt, there was only one moment I was a bit afraid it could damage, and that was when I had very heavy mud in the back wheel and small stones mixed into them, and really I had to clean it very carefully to not break it, but that's not a normal situation. So that's about it about the bike. Let's say maybe these small inner bar ends, I actually was not too convinced they are. I rarely put the hands up there, but I realized for pushing the bike it's extremely helpful to have them. It helps you to change the position of your hands once in a while, even if it's not for long. And the other good thing, if you turn around your bike for repairing, it doesn't damage your navigation device, which is on top of the handlebar, or the lamp. So it gives you also, it's the highest stick on the handlebar, and that really helps. So this was a long walkthrough. I know it's only for the people really interested in. Otherwise, I mean, I was very happy with the OSPA concept. The bike managed to do this very demanding trip excellently, and I would always use it again for that kind of race. And yeah, that's about it. It's too early to say if I will ever do the Navad 1000 again, because it's very demanding and extremely hard. I was happy to finish it within 6 days and 6 hours and 36 minutes, by the way. But it's very hard and a lot of walking parts, so that's something I have to reconsider very carefully before taking any decision. Anyway, it was an unforgettable adventure, an extreme experience, and I'm happy. I'm over. I'm done. Okay. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you can always write me an email. Go to ospa.bike and push the contact. I'm happy to answer any of your questions you might have for your next trip and adventure. I wish you good luck and happy biking. All right.